Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Brown, and I'm a degree of change. So, I've learned that leadership, like mathematics, is about finding vision between logic and your journey. I've earned my bachelor's in mathematics with a concentration in pure mathematics from San Francisco State University. Today, I serve as a staff accountant at Sonesta International Hotels, where every number tells a story, and behind each report, ledger, and financial statement, there's a pattern to uncover and a decision to make. But my story didn't begin in a boardroom. It began in Bayview Hunters Point, where opportunity isn't promised and the expectations were low. Statistically, young African American men, where I grew up, wasn't supposed to make it this far. The system didn't predict my success, but what statistics didn't measure was my drive. To me, success isn't defined by where you start, but by how you use what you're given. When I first walked into high school, my goal was simple: survive and graduate. But as I grew, that goal evolved into something much bigger: to break the cycle, to prove that education could change the entire trajectory of a life. And that's where Mason Scholar Awards came in, a program administered by 10,000 Degrees. They didn't just offer me a scholarship. They gave me access. They connected me to mentors, leaders, professionals who opened doors that I didn't even know existed. Through 10,000 Degrees, I landed my first internship at Sky. That experience changed my life. It showed me how mathematics drives innovation, how data drives logic, and creativity intersects to shape our world. That one opportunity was a catalyst that turned potential into purpose. This removed my financial stress so that many students silently carry. 10,000 Degrees gave me the space to focus, to grow, and to breathe. And in that space, I found my rhythm. College wasn't easy. There was many endless nights where I was up at night and in the classrooms thinking about giving up. But every time I thought about giving up, I remember where I started and who I was doing this for. I remember my high school math teacher once said, "You don't just solve problems, Michael, you find patterns." That moment flipped a switch in my mind. It made me realize mathematics just wasn't my subject, it was my language, and through the language, I learned how to communicate, how to think, and how to lead. Education became my passport. Till this day, I traveled to over 14 countries, and every journey reinforced one truth: knowledge opens the world. Education didn't just give me a degree, it gave me a global mindset. The confidence to walk into any room knowing that I belong. Today, I'm channeling that same mindset into my next chapter in my story. Fall 2026, I plan to apply to MBA or Master of Finance programs. I'm looking to deepen my understanding of leadership and financial strategy. My vision: to rise to a director of finance role and eventually become a professor. Because I don't want to just lead behind a desk. I want to lead in front of a classroom. I want to teach students who were told they couldn't do it that they absolutely can. Because that's what education does. It transforms what's possible. It turns barriers into building blocks. It turns potential into power. It turns dreamers into leaders. So when I look at that from my journey, from the kid who wasn't supposed to make it, to a mathematician, to a global professional, I see one undeniable truth. Education is the greatest equation ever written. And when you solve it with courage, guidance, and grit, the result is leadership. Now, people often ask me, Michael, what are the top 3 reasons why somebody should support 10,000 Degrees? My answer is simple: because knowledge is liberation. Ignorance chains the mind, education breaks the lock. Because belief creates reality. When you invest in a student, you awaken their will to become. Because transformation is contagious. One Empowered Life challenged thousands to rise higher to the occasion. To 10,000 Degrees, to Mason Scholar Award, and to every mentor who believed in me before I believed in myself, thank you for being a part of my formula. I am a 10,000 Degrees Changemaker, and because of you, I'm not solving problems anymore. I'm building futures. Thank you.